Hi, everyone.
Oh no,
Welcome back to the MattCast podcast. I am Matty Light, joined by my co-host, Matty Heavy.
I can't even look at you for too long.
You can't look at
Dude,
my beautiful
during the
mug.
memes, I wasn't looking at you. I kept looking behind you. I just was like, dude. Whenever you first came out, I was like, I haven't seen your chin in so long.
Me too. When I was shaving, it was just like clumps of hair coming out. I'm like, this is what
Mhm.
cancer faces.
Yeah.
I can't make that joke.
I felt bad when you're like, well, I don't feel as bad because imagine if I was like, oh yeah, here's my racer, Matt, because he was like, yeah, do you
Yeah,
have like a buzzer? And I was like, I sure do. And I just like, gave it to you.
yeah. And I'm glad. Like, my follow-up question was going to be, have you used it for those
Yeah.
regions?
My thing is though, like for me, if we give it a quick clean, like
Yeah.
pop the thing open, get all the junk out,
Put in some alcohol.
yeah,
Yeah, let it air dry a little bit. Yeah.
and like sure,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
But that would have taken I was able like once I just got through the big chunks cuz like when I started clipping at first I'm like all the long stuff is here.
Hmm.
I can start trimming this up
Hmm.
once I get this gone because it'll be a little bit easier.
Yes.
And that's ended up what happening was
Yeah.
that like I was able to grab like dude right here was just too long like
You should have kept it for your girl, and you're like, you know what I was gonna go. Yeah. I was like, no. How long are you gonna keep? Because you're gonna get rid of all this, and it's
yeah,
just gonna be the stash. How long are you gonna do that
I'm
for?
probably going to
Until your beard
just
grows back, or
throughout the winter, I'm gonna let the beard grow in, but I'll try and keep it more trimmed.
see, I'm surprised that you didn't wait until the winter was over.
So I was going with the same thing, right? Because at
Yeah.
work, at first it was really nice against the wind.
Yeah.
But then the wind became so strong that I was still wearing a neck gaiter.
Uh-huh.
And the neck gaiter was just collapsing my beard in and making it really like
Itchy.
itchy and like yeah, and just like very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And even like trying
My
to
follow-up question is why wouldn't you just try to shave it down a little?
well,
Just
I
to
wanted
like
to
keep
I already have something planned like awkward Christmas photos for
Yeah.
the family, and I said,
Yeah.
like, I'd get wireframe glasses and have the mustache for it, just so I
We're
can give
just gonna look at some Christmas photos.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just gonna watch a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I figured, the long hair with the porn stash and, wireframe glasses would make for some very funny, awkward photos to give my mom.
Yeah.
Um, and I just like, you know what, I wanna have some fun with my beard before I shave it, kinda like
Mhm.
in How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's just like, he has his breakup beard and he shows up with different
Yeah.
looks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at first I showed you, like when it was just all the long hair,
Yeah.
but just straight through the middle,
Mhm.
it really looked like some sort of pirate
It would
or
look
yeah,
yeah.
like I could have easily done this
Nerd.
for like a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Just like have the mutton chops and
How long did it take you to grow? Do you remember? Since you've been out.
like late January.
So
Late January, early
so you've
February.
only been growing it out for a year.
Yeah, just
But I
just
mean,
underneath a year.
from where you were, respectfully, from where you were,
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't a year.
Yeah.
Like you I mean, for to like how to just get to
That long.
and I feel like it just stayed put. I didn't
Yeah.
really feel like it grew any
It was
longer.
growing small
Yeah,
increments
yeah,
towards
yeah.
the end.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Hey, Aaron, your
Um,
pizza's here.
but yeah, like, it was still growing, like, I noticed it,
Mhm.
but it wasn't enough for, like, visually for everybody else to notice. And so, yeah, I just figured I'd shave it and then
Yeah, it's one of those things that maybe you compare photos
yeah.
between
And then, the other part too is just, like, during the wintertime, I can just have it just a short beard and wear my neck gaiter,
Mhm.
and it's not as
Yeah.
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 As it collapses on my beard. That was just became very annoying working with that around it to block the wind because the wind was getting so bad.
What'd you get?
Pepperoni pizza and then a meat lovers pizza. So
Okay, that's hot. Yeah, I'm gonna let
Yeah,
y'all.
that's it. They just came here.
Yeah,
Um,
that's hot as fuck.
yeah, you are.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, but yeah, it was just like it just got more annoying to work with while being outside,
Makes
and
sense.
when the wind was getting even stronger, and it wasn't even stopping it.
There's
Yeah.
some man out there. Oh, you're not a real man.
Dude, there's a couple guys out there that have some glorious beards, and I'm
Mm.
like, I am jealous. And I always ask them, what do they do? And they're like, oh, I just use conditioner. I'm like, brother, like, no, there has to be more.
Mm-hmm.
Which I also found out my oldest brother just dropped off some beard oils and like creams
Mm-hmm.
with my other brother to give me tomorrow. And like, so it was even more
Oh,
funny when he FaceTimed me just before
yeah.
recording.
Because
I'm
you're
like,
sitting there like, man.
well, I'm just like, all right, this will be useful when I
In the
grow it back out
future,
again.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
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 And I just figured this would be
Is your
funny.
plan to do it like every year, like grow it out through the year and then shave it in the winter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like shave it at some point.
Mhm.
It's just like grow it out for a bit, shave it, see
Well,
what works.
we originally planned for this episode to not exist.
Yeah.
We just planned on
The
I'm
memes.
not being here,
Yep.
and then you and Josh sit down. We got our second interview planned. It's with a girl.
Ooh.
But yeah, we didn't expand to this episode. It was just gonna be you and Josh
Mhm.
Friday.
Saturday.
Saturday. Oh,
Yep.
sorry, Saturday morning. So yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do this regular episode.
Yeah. And then
Before Thanksgiving. Hey man, what are you thankful for this year?
What am I thankful for?
Yeah.
Good friends,
Mm-hmm.
being out of the military.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Patriotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the military, but also at the same time, I like being a civilian too.
Yeah.
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 I'm also grateful to have good health still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still broken, but like not as much as I could be.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
could be like legitimately disabled.
Yeah. What about you?
My dog, first off, where is she? I don't know where she's at. Jules.
She probably saw the food.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
probably going crazy. This podcast,
Oh,
fun
yeah.
little thing to do. Gives my mind. It's like a hobby.
Yeah.
We're not getting paid for this. Obviously, there's only
Yeah.
like 7
The
of us
day
watching.
the day we get paid for though, I'm sitting there with
Yeah,
the
it's fucking money. Money. Only pay.
money.
Everybody's like, hey, we're
Yeah.
going out too hot. It's on me. Yeah,
Yeah.
friends, family. I haven't had a ton of like hard, difficult times this year, but I am appreciative of those difficult moments because there's always like growth there, and it's always one of
Mhm.
those things that like sucks in the moment, but then it's like, all right,
Good learning experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So stuff like that.
Well, for anybody that is watching, please let us know what you're thankful for this year. I think I want to see what it is like. We usually only get like one comment every 5 videos,
That's fine.
but hopefully we
We'll
can
start
get
small.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the comments was you, so
Yeah.
um,
But what doesn't football and Thanksgiving go together
yeah,
like
peas and carrots,
yeah. Also,
black peas and
dude,
carrots.
I got a confession.
Okay.
And I don't really I don't say it pains me to say it, but there's like a small part of me that is dreading saying this.
Mhm.
I am more of a Coors Light guy now than I am a Busch Light guy.
Really?
I swear to God. Like for me, these don't have any taste,
Yeah.
and I can just
Pound them.
yeah.
Yeah.
But for like a Busch Light, it's like there's a little bit of taste to it,
Mhm.
and so if I'm just like I just want a few beers, if I can
Yeah.
just have a few beers, it's gonna be Coors Light. If
Yeah.
I want to like we're going somewhere nice or something like that, yeah, give me a Busch Light.
Yeah.
Which sounds
Yeah.
dumb as
I'm
fuck
wearing a
to say.
tuxedo. Give me a Busch Light. All right.
Yeah. Hey,
Special occasion.
one ice cube in there. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've been drinking way more Coors Light lately than
Yeah.
Busch Light.
I've always liked Coors Light.
Well, it started when we went to Colorado,
yeah.
and that I just was. It's not the same.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty good.
I think these are fairly close.
These are way better than
Yeah.
the bottle.
100%.
100%.
And the cans, like these are my go-to.
And
If
better
I wanna
from
get
the draft. This is better than the draft.
Yeah.
This is what I want to see
Yeah.
if you're giving me a Coors Light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like every time I get Coors, I always get for these.
Mhm.
Okay, so since we're making confessions,
Okay.
I've had a couple Bud Lights as of late.
They're not bad.
They're not as bad
They're
as I
not
remembered it
bad.
to be. Like I always remembered as
But here's the thing: do you start with a Bud Light, or is it one of those things that it kind of gets in the rotation, like mid drinking, and you're like, all right, this is fine.
So it kind of started we were over at my lady's parents' place, and I was just
Mhm.
like, "Oh, is there any beer here?"
Mm-hmm.
And she grabs me a Bud Light. I'm like, "You Bud Light?" And I'm not gonna say no.
Especially since they
Yeah,
already got it for
yeah.
you. Yeah.
Like you gross. Get me something else.
Yeah.
And I had it. I'm sitting like, honestly, I talked a lot of shit on it.
It's
That's
not.
yeah. And
Yeah.
like throughout the years, I was a Busch Light and Coors Light drinker.
Were you a Bud Light hater when they had their whole kind of pride
A
moment?
little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but also I was living in Colorado, so there wasn't as much.
There's not as much in the rivalry. It's like, dude, if I see you
Yeah,
in Colorado with a Bud Light, what
yeah,
is going on?
exactly.
Yeah.
And like I always liked Coors and Bud. Well, didn't really like Bud Light, but I always liked Coors and
Mm.
Busch.
Yeah.
And going to Colorado was like nice to have
What about Budweiser? Just straight
like
Bud.
Budweiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like a
It's like it's not your first option,
yeah, but
but
like
if that's like if it's like that
yeah,
Michelob, you're like, okay, give me the Bud Light.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like one of those things like Coors Banquets. Like I need a feeling for it.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's what Busch Light's becoming for me is like I need to have a feeling for it.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna go out and get like the specialty
Mhm.
boxes. I love
Yeah.
that shit. I'm such a fucking like ooh pretty colors type of
Yeah.
guy. But Coors Light
Ooh,
is such
shiny.
yeah, for
Yeah.
real. Like it's like oh the tackle box.
Yeah.
Like I mean if you look on here, okay. So here's the thing: most of these are not us.
Yeah.
Most of these are Aaron, but over there on the secondary
Yeah.
wall because we're starting to expand.
Yeah.
A lot of it is Bush Light,
Yeah.
and it's like the camo box,
Mhm.
the fish tackle box,
Yeah.
the just fish box.
Mhm.
What other ones do they do special? We need to get those fucking outlaws out.
Yeah.
We need to get them out.
Yeah.
But that's
Outlaw.
it's not our wall. So,
Yeah.
but
But I get it.
dude,
Yeah.
I've been wanting to like go shopping with you to do this thing with you that like we go to like some just random spot, like we go to
Yeah.
Menards or something. We're getting groceries or like not
Mhm.
groceries. We're getting like I don't know 2x4s or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. And like we get a we run into like an associate and they're like, "You guys doing all right?" It's like, "Do you guys have Outlaw here?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "That's too bad.
That's my favorite
That's too
beer.
bad, man. That sucks. I really like that beer."
Oh god. I
Even
hated that.
so, for people who don't know, Matt used to be involved with a
Yeah. My
ambassador of that brand.
yes. A saleswoman.
And
Yeah.
they dude, when we we went to with you guys in Manhattan,
Yeah.
there's we had to say they're like, hey, you were like, hey man, she's gonna ask you,
Yeah.
just please do it. Which
Yeah.
as a boyfriend, very solid. Because
Yes.
you're letting the boys know you're keeping your woman
Yeah.
happy. But you know that you're just like, "Ah, this
I don't
sucks.
want to do
I
this.
don't want to do this. I
I
know
want a
you don't want
Bush
to do
Light.
it.
I was stuck in Colorado for years.
Yeah.
Have not had a Bush Light and a beer.
When we went to that bar, what was that bar? It's a really good bar.
Fucking Tanners or something like that.
I think so. Hey, if you're
Yeah.
in Manhattan,
It's in the
K-State,
downtown over by
it's a
the
great
mall.
bar.
Yeah.
It's a little
Yeah.
small, but I mean, it's a
It's
smaller
a great little
college.
dive bar.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
100%. And
You guys should
you were like, dude, we should go again. I love
yeah.
that. I love
I
the
should also take
atmosphere.
you to Aggieville, which is like the
We
main
kind of went
college.
there. We kind
Yeah.
of went there.
Yeah.
Um,
I took you guys to the taco joint.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, we got bushes, and then you're like, oh, she's gonna be here faster. Drink.
Yeah.
We can't have these at the table.
Yeah.
Drink. And then like we got rid of them, but we had one left, like a tall,
Yeah.
because I think you did like 24-ounce cups,
Yeah.
like in like the beer that she wanted wasn't available in that, so
Yeah.
you knew that she knew that that was
Yeah.
not going to be a beer
Mhm.
that she would want us to order.
Yeah.
So Tom was like, dude, I don't want
I
this
don't
right
want
now.
to chug.
And you just
Well, he's like, I don't want to chug, and he's just like, I don't want to chug this beer.
yeah,
It's so cold. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. All
we need
right,
to
we need
finish
to
this. Yeah.
so I can get us a bucket of outlaws.
Before she comes back.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like, dude, it was like just minutes before
Mhm.
she showed up. Like, we finished it, I put it up, got a bucket of outlaw, cracked it all open for all of us, and then she came in. I'm like,
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor, by the way.
no,
We are not affiliated with any of these brands. If
no,
you look at
I
our
don't want to be
sponsor counts,
affiliated with outlaw.
any of the brands, I'm saying like
No,
any the Coors Light,
yeah,
Busch Light, we're not affiliated, but Coors or Outlaw, it's a good shotgunning beer
yeah,
because there's not a lot. So okay, unofficial review, no sponsor.
yeah,
It's a good shotgunning beer because there's not a lot of taste. You
Mhm.
gotta have that shit not warm, not
Yeah.
not like throw it in the microwave, but like room
Yeah.
temp. And that is the
Yeah,
only
it's
thing. It's a
solid.
good
Yeah,
party beer.
yeah. I agree with that. It's a good party beer. It's cheaper than Natty's,
Yes.
and it actually has a little bit of flavor compared to Natty's or like regular party beers.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I fucks with it there.
Why are you putting it in a crate?
She's been trying to eat her food.
Why she's trying to eat the food? Jules. Jules, you can't try to eat the food, girl. Hey, get in your crate. Get in the crate. Get in there.
You're not people.
She eat food?
I fed her earlier. The thing is, she didn't eat this morning, so we'll go ahead and feed her again. She ain't gonna eat it. She's gonna look at your guys' food.
Yeah.
Also, what's a fella got to do to get a slice around here?
Go get it himself. That's what he's got to do.
He's a little busy right now.
Yeah. We're currently paying the bills. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, our ad revenue.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the
Looking
lighting in
solid.
here.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, these are Planet Fitness gains.
Imagine
Are you-
I was at a real gym.
do you want her in or out?
Want to think about what she did.
Okay. Hey man, do you got any cheese?
No, it's 3 meat and pepperoni.
Pizza man? What? Like there's got to be at least one cheese at the function.
Yeah, at least one cheese.
Yeah.
Okay, did you buy it? This is the question. Ask the audience. Did Matt buy the pizza with his podcast?
Hey man. The suddenly acquired podcast
Yeah.
money that we're all familiar with right now.
Yeah.
So no cheese. You cut it off.
I'm not a child. I can eat the pepperoni. I'm not. Whatever, man. Fuck
Whatever.
you. Let's talk about sports. Dude. Fucking.
Before we get, I'm excited for the potential next studio that we have, or like recording space.
Yeah.
I've got a great idea for it. I've told you off camera. We're not going to bring it up now, just until like it gets a little bit closer.
So I
but,
know. I'm not moving.
yeah, me and Matt are getting into real estate.
Yeah. Because I know this is it's your in your woman's space.
Yeah.
The thing is, I would want some not like a ton, not like a ton of
sports
shit,
decorations,
but some decorations
Yeah.
that are like
so
my brand stuff.
after
deliberation,
like, deliberation,
yeah.
that
Like
area
so, like
is-
for one, the cleats.
yeah. So like
That's our history,
yes.
and it's yeah.
And so like the discussion that I had is just like she said is that area of the house,
Mhm.
all you do whatever you want with it,
Mhm.
and I'm like sick. So like I plan on getting like a Nebraska flag, Iowa State,
I'll probably the one behind you.
Yeah.
I'll probably use that there.
yeah, and so like getting a mix of like sports themes. Like I know I'm in Nebraska, like,
You gotta suck it
and
up.
if it's gonna be like
Yeah.
a place where people are gonna be coming over to,
Yeah.
I need to have my team along with
We'll
Yeah.
talk more off camera because there's a few logistical things that
Yeah.
we're talking about here. Because I mean, me and Aaron have our own podcast. We have our own podcast.
yeah,
I'm asking for podcast stuff for Christmas.
yeah,
Because
same here.
this isn't working.
Yeah.
Well, it's working. It gets the job
Yeah.
done, but there's better avenues out
Yes.
there. So it's one of we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But,
But I just wanted to say, like, we are
It's in the
planning on,
planning.
it's in
Yeah.
the planning. Get you guys an update on what we plan on doing. But yeah, so now going into college sports.
2 slices. Whatever you want, man.
Yeah, you don't want the cheese or whatever. Bread. No sauce.
All right, so for last week's scores, UNLV beats San Jose State 27-16. Indiana lost to Ohio State
Okay.
38-15.
I thought it would be somewhat closer.
Me too.
Well, we both wanted Indiana. I projected and predicted Indiana.
Yeah.
It was a fucking ass whooping.
Whooping. Yes.
Ass whooping.
Texas beat Kentucky 31-14.
Which I said that potentially Kentucky could upset.
They could.
Didn't happen.
No. Penn State beat Minnesota.
Thanks,
which
buddy.
26-25.
And a pretzel knot? Dude, you're too nice.
Yeah.
I don't
Matt,
deserve
we
you.
were fairly close on the Penn State game. Um, that could have been a game for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Army lost to Notre Dame, or
Yeah.
Notre Dame beat Army.
Dude, ass whooping.
Ass whooping.
Did either one of us? I don't think either one of us really said.
We said Army had the better chance, which I think they scored more.
I think we both said we want, like, it'd be cool, but we
but
both
we
knew in
don't
our
see
heart
it.
of
Yeah,
hearts.
yeah.
I would never put me down like that.
No. Alabama lost to Oklahoma 24-3.
That was an upset.
Yep. Miami beat Wake Forest 42-14. Mind you, this has been the first week that we've actually picked Miami and they won.
But
Every
we're
time
both sitting there like, I don't know anymore.
every time we pick Miami, they lose, which has only happened one time, but still, like, the one time, like, we spent weeks talking shit on them.
Yeah, like, oh man, they're
Yeah,
fucking barely coming away with wins.
Yeah.
Still wins.
yeah. Ole Miss lost to Florida, 24-17. Yeah, that's twice now Florida's upset a team. Which, if you saw in the memes, we put something from Step Brothers about KU and Florida coming to ruin teams, chances of the playoffs. Georgia beat Massachusetts. Who would have thunk? But they scored 21 points. I mean, they at least scored.
Look at they at least scored. You're right. The
Yeah.
hockey team scored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They at least scored, and they scored more than I thought they would. I would have thought maybe some field goals, and that's about it. But no, they actually scored some touchdowns.
So what about fucking UTEP, man? Not anything.
Not nothing. 56-0. Boise State beat Wyoming 17-13.
A good conference game though.
Yeah. SMU beat Virginia 33-7. BYU got upset by Arizona State 28-23.
I was so surprised you weren't watching this game.
I didn't have YouTube TV, and I was also handling some other stuff at home. Yeah.
If you would have texted me, dude, I would send you my credentials.
Sure.
Well, remind me next time. Not like right now.
The Django. You will?
You will? Because I found out it's not like a one person on.
Oh, what?
I thought it was. It's not.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Don't go passing out the information.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Not like, hey, I'm over at my buddy Greg, or my buddy Greg's.
Yeah. I won't, trust me. But, like, yeah, sick. A&M got beat by Auburn 43-41.
Upset.
KU upset Colorado 37-21.
Out there fucking up seasons, man.
And, like,
you needed that.
Yes,
and you said it. You're like, hey, this could happen.
I need ASU and BYU or Arizona State to win. I really needed more of Arizona State to lose, but I also could have gone with a BYU loss.
It's better for you for BYU to lose.
Yeah.
This week you need Arizona State to lose.
Well, like, honestly, it doesn't matter. I just need Iowa State to win.
Oh,
Iowa State and Arizona State are at the top. And because BYU needs ASU or Iowa State to lose, at least one of them, and then Colorado needs two teams to lose.
And they need to win.
Yeah, and they need to win. So, like, all four of these teams, yes, they need to win to stay in. But if both ASU and ISU win, they go into the conference championship. The Citadel put up 14 against Clemson, 51-14. Wofford, 56-12. I mean, they scored. Iowa State beat Utah.
That's a closer game than I thought it would be.
Me too. I was sitting there. I was watching the play-by-play on that one. And I'm just like, oh my god, like, it's gonna fucking happen. I'm sitting there, like, getting more and more frustrated.
I wanted to text you about it, but I knew you were gonna be like, I knew you were
in my
gonna
zone.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm not gonna. I want to talk to you about it on here. When I was looking at it at half, I was like, that's a closer game than I know that Matt probably wants it to be.
Yes.
And then, I mean, they come out, they score the third. Keep them scoreless. I'm like, okay. And then 15 in the fourth, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like,
that was, like, So here's how it was for me, right? Me and the lady went out for groceries just before that, and we started cooking dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking at the play-by-play because it wasn't on Hulu, on like regular Hulu TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just sitting there like, oh, fuck, this is
Dude,
closer.
I was even working. I was closing that night.
Yeah.
I would not have been able to watch that game.
Well, shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Next
But
week.
yeah, like, so I'm just sitting there while we're watching TV, just like glued to the play-by-play, just like. And he's like, "Did you see that?" Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, Process Place is cool with me. I don't care.
And then I see the Iowa State interception at the end. I'm like, yes. Or was it an interception or fumble? It was one of the two.
Wow, they were so wait, Utah had the ball driving to have a potential game-winning.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But then we ended up stopping them.
Yeah, because dude, a field goal would have tied it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was a lot closer, and they were driving, and they were in field goal range. And then we forced them. It was some sort of turnover. It might have been a fumble, or we sacked them really deep.
Something happened. Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that's been happening this week and weekend.
Oh, Thanksgiving week. You know.
Missouri beat Mississippi State 39-20, and Illinois beat Rutgers 38-31. So we'll go into next week's predictions.
Hey, Nebraska's going bowling.
Oh yeah,
Nebraska's going bowling.
Fuck. Forgot about that. Who did Nebraska beat? Fucking
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They're now what, 6-5?
6-5. Yeah. We're gonna go 7-5, dude. We're gonna beat Iowa.
Yeah.
We're gonna beat Iowa.
Oh, there's a high chance that you guys could.
We'll talk about it as we get to that game. Let's go through.
So for the ranked games next week, we got Memphis at Tulane.
Dude, how insane would it be for Tulane to
get into this college football
and
playoffs
like to go deep in it?
That would be pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
It would be pretty wild. Oregon State against Boise State.
Boise State's probably gonna.
Yeah. Oklahoma State against Colorado. This is a weaker matchup, like for Colorado.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm definitely seeing a Colorado win, but I'm also like, they've lost what, 2 games in a row?
No,
or just 1 game.
So they
just lost 1 game.
Yeah, they just lost. Yeah.
Like they're coming off a loss
because it was Nebraska and then a couple weeks K-State and then they went on a run. Yeah.
So like you could see Colorado come out in the wrong headspace, like defeated and everything.
You hear the fucking speech that Prime did?
No,
dude, he was like, "Y'all fucking feeding into the hype, fucking missing that." Dude, he was going off on them, and I was like, So here's the thing. I think if you're in Colorado, you kind of know that you need a lot of help to get in, and it's not looking good for you.
And like, I don't know what headspace they're coming into that game with.
Well, especially if you're like Travis Hunter and Shador, like you're just like, honestly, whatever happens this next game, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to the NFL anyway.
And like I'm curious to see how they come out mentally for this game and how they are going to perform because that's just I don't see it going well for them. I genuinely don't. Like
So you're telling me.
So I'm just saying, like, I feel like they're gonna win, but also at the same time, I feel like they're not gonna play.
She's just looking at me. I'm sorry. She's just like, "Can I come out now?"
I don't think they're gonna play like Colorado has been all season.
Well, not all season.
Yeah. Well, the majority of the season, I should say. Yeah. I just don't think they're gonna come out like they normally do. I could be speaking out of my ass too, and they come out fucking balling hot.
Especially like after a loss that I mean, I don't want to say that they could have won. I don't want to say should have because like Kansas has been doing that to everybody.
Yeah. Kansas whooped up on 3 ranked teams in a row.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all I gotta say though is that Iowa State held them a lot better than the other teams did.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah, just throwing it out there.
But yeah, like I want to say like they might just be hanging up their hats.
Make a prediction now. Are you rolling with Colorado to win? Or are you rolling with Oklahoma State?
It's probably going to be a Colorado win.
Okay, but
I
don't want.
Wouldn't be surprised if like their players.
Now, are you seeing that Oklahoma is 0-8 in the Big 12.
Yes.
Okay.
Or no, not. Yeah, they're 0-8 in the Big 12.
Yeah. I can
Um,
read. Thank you.
I thought you meant Colorado. I'm
No.
like, what?
No,
Um,
they're 6-2.
but I was just sitting there like, I'm sure they might be coming to the locker room, hanging up their hats, want to go in the bye week of Army Navy game, and then just conference championship, get built up for the bowl game. They'll win the bowl game so that they can have it underneath their belt, and then go off to the pros.
Now, do you think after this year, now that the
The main
the
star power.
Sanders and Travis Hunter is gone, that we're gonna see a huge dip in Colorado? I know they just got a 5-star recruit that
Yeah.
signed with them. Do you really think that Coach Prime's gonna start a freshman? I don't
No,
either.
probably not.
And
I think it'll be
they'll still have their other. Is
I
it
think it'll-
Shiloh?
Shiloh Sanders, but
Yeah.
he's a wideout.
Yeah. Wait, I thought he was on the defense.
He could. I thought he was a wideout. He could be on defense.
Yeah, I thought he was on the defense because when he was playing Nebraska, he's on defense and he
Yeah.
got hurt. Yeah.
But like,
He
I
broke
definitely
his
see
forearm
this
or
as more
something.
as like a rebuild year coming up
Mhm.
for Colorado. I don't think they're going to be.
But
coming
the
out
thing is, I
hot.
mean, like, what, this is their third season
Yeah,
with Coach
underneath
Prime?
Sanders, yeah.
Yeah. Like, so the first year, rebuild year. Second year, you're
Yeah.
somewhat successful. Third year is another rebuild year.
Yeah,
Like, I get, like, you want to see an uptick.
yeah,
And I think if you go like that,
yeah,
that's crazy to me.
yeah,
But I'm also I'm getting new into
yeah.
college.
I think it's going to be more of a they climb up and then plateau in middle,
Mhm.
where like they have a lot of the base work built up. They
Mhm.
just need to start getting that star power and
Well, they
the
have the
playmaking.
star power. They have one front runner for a Heisman and then a guy who's
Well, I'm
looking to
saying
go.
after they leave for
Yeah.
the NFL.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
how do you have this much like this year and then next year you're just
Yeah. Well, and so that's what I'm saying. Like they're going to peak up for you people here. They're going to peak up here, dive down, but instead of dropping down to where they were, it's going to be somewhere in the middle and plateau
Yeah.
for a season,
Mhm.
and then climb back up,
Mm.
just until they can build up someone who's
Do you
a
think
leader.
that new Colorado kind of hype train fan base, I don't want to call y'all like a whole fan base, but like the hype train are going to be responsive to that? Like good responsive to that?
Not good responsive.
No.
They might be calling for heads if they have a
Really? Like,
mediocre season next year.
we'll see how we sit next
Yeah.
year. We might be sitting here also going like,
Yeah. Mississippi State against Ole Miss. Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though they did just lose, but
Where are you sitting with this Georgia Tech? Do you think Georgia Tech has, they
Georgia
always
Tech
have that.
came out and surprised people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia Tech gets an upset.
Well, Georgia if they want to go for the CFB,
Yeah, college football playoffs.
yeah, they need a fucking.
Oh, they need this win.
They need this win.
They need this win. If they
Mhm.
lose, I think they're going to be out. Michigan against Ohio State rivalry game.
Last year, man, different conversation.
Yeah, different conversation.
This year,
Ohio State.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would love for Michigan. When like you see like the character who's dying in a movie, in a video
Yeah.
game, and they just had that last final stand, and they're
Yeah.
like, "We know we fucking sucked.
Yeah.
This is our redemption."
Mhm.
I would love to see Michigan
Come out and fucking
upset fucking
Yeah.
Ohio State. It ain't gonna happen, but I would love for that to happen. That was a lot of pops
Yeah.
right there.
It felt good.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm in agreement. Like, I'd love to see a Michigan win just for the chaos that could ensue.
Yeah. It's in Columbus too.
Yeah. I'm sitting here like the Joker. I just want to see the world burn.
Yeah.
See all these great teams lose just so my team can win.
Right in the last week
Yeah.
too.
And then you have Tennessee against Vanderbilt.
Battle for Tennessee.
Yep. South Carolina.
Where do you see that one? Do you think Vanderbilt
Vanderbilt could
maybe
The
should just like upset Tennessee's
Yeah.
season?
The SEC has consistently always been known for being like you never really know who's going to win. Yeah, a team could be a powerhouse.
I could be wrong, but I think if South Carolina wants to get in, they need Tennessee to lose and they need to beat Clemson, which is a tall ask.
It is a tall ass order. Yeah, so then you have South Carolina against Clemson. I want to lean more towards Clemson, but South Carolina has continuously surprised me.
It's a good game. I
yeah.
think
you got Illinois against Northwestern, which
Big Ten ball,
yeah,
but
Big Ten
Illinois
and interstate
is
rivalry.
yeah.
You got Maryland against Penn State.
Mm.
Yeah, you got Notre Dame against USC.
Is Tua's brother still at Maryland?
I think so.
I think so too.
I on like USC has came out and surprised teams before, but I don't think this team is going to be able to do it against Notre Dame. You got Miami against Syracuse.
ACC ball, dude. Honestly, here's the thing. I can see Syracuse doing it.
You really could.
I really do.
Every time I pick Miami, though, like except for last week, I'm 50-50 on Miami. Whenever I pick them.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but I think this is where they drop the ball.
Yeah, you think so?
I think it's one of the things you do so well through most of the season. They had the one loss.
Yeah,
versus Georgia Tech, I believe. And I think this is where they drop the ball.
I'll be if I have the time to watch it on Saturday. That's definitely a game I'm going to be watching.
I will be. What time is it?
2:30.
I will be dealing with customers and mentally preparing. Well, actually, no. Fucking the Huskers play Friday. Excuse me.
Okay. Cal against SMU. Probably going to be an SMU win.
Yeah.
Auburn against Alabama. Interstate rivalry. I forgot what this their bowl game is called because it's like a.
Yeah, they do have like a. Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it's the Iron Bowl. Is what they call it.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah. I should know this from playing college football 25 and playing as a running back for Auburn, which, mind you, I took Auburn to a conference the championship my freshman year and made all rookie year. And then they
what difficulty were you on?
This was on varsity.
Varsity?
Yeah.
That's not the good one.
It's not like the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
But you guys were talking about how hard playing quarterback was on varsity. And then
for like a shit ass school.
Yeah.
And then that's
Yeah. But then I played for Michigan and won four championships and lost out to the Heisman to my wide receivers every year, which was I'm sitting there like, this is bullshit. Yeah. I'm making the audible down low.
Do you see Arizona beating Arizona State? I don't.
I want them to.
Definitely. Yeah, it would be nice for you.
It would be nice, but also I think Arizona.
Sorry, I gotta piss. Sorry.
Okay, go on. I think Arizona State is a much easier competition compared to the other teams. Going to the Big 12 championship compared to the other teams that are on there. And so I need Arizona State to win for us to have the easier competition going as long as Iowa State wins against K-State, which we have a chance, but also K-State's still a good team, and we need to show up and compete, which we haven't played a ranked team since Iowa. So we need to show up and show out. We're just, you know what, I'm just going to go on to K-State, Iowa State. So we got the Farmageddon going on at 6:30 on Fox. In Ames, these tickets we wanted to go watch this game initially instead of the Iowa State-Cincinnati game, but with Matt having to work during Black Friday and everything like that, we were unable to get those tickets. Otherwise, that would have been the game we gone to. I think with how the season have gone, I wish we could have gone to that one. Which also, mind you, Matt.
That was bullshit. I got it.
Matt.
Fucking wait.
Brother. All right, so the tickets for the K-State Iowa State game are as low as $14 right now.
Are you on that game already?
Well, I was talking about ASU Arizona.
Oh,
and I need to talk about this first before I could talk about them.
Okay.
So what I was saying is that I see ASU as the weakest team of the four teams. or of the 3 other teams that we have to play against, or potential chance, in the Big 12 championship. So I need them.
I think they're the most slept on.
Really?
I think so.
Well, of the 3 other teams, I think Colorado was a better team than ASU. I do agree that ASU is slept on. BYU is a lot better of a team.
Come here. Sit. Paw. Other paw. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl.
I think ASU is a much softer team compared to the others. Other 3 that are out there.
What's your reasoning?
So, Colorado has the spectacular play.
Can you go back and can you look at? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
But like Colorado has a spectacular play.
Can we see who Arizona State has played? I feel like we did this last week, but I don't remember.
Wyoming, Mississippi State, Texas State, Texas Tech, KU, Utah, Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, UCF, K-State.
So after beating K-State and BYU back to back, you still think they're the softest in your division or softest that to play? You wouldn't look at that as maybe Colorado or BYU.
You may have changed my mind on that one.
Because let's look at Colorado's strength of schedule. I feel like they're honestly, if anything, they're kind of the team that fucking.
I think Colorado, because of their quarterback being able to have that scramble capability for Iowa State's defense when they're running the 3-3-5.
Nebraska runs 3-3-5 and they handle them just fine.
Iowa State
pretty fucking good.
Iowa State hasn't been able to handle the scrambling quarterback.
So right there, Matt just said Nebraska has a better defense than Iowa State. You heard it here first.
I never said that. But like when we played against KU, they have a very good scrambling quarterback. And he can also throw the ball deep. And like that's something Shedeur can do as well. I see that as like some shortfall. Granted, Colorado doesn't have the best running back either from the games that I've seen him play. And so like maybe that's a fucking plus that we have there.
For me, if I'm sitting there, if I'm Iowa State, the team I would want to win the most would be Colorado because you're just in there like, if you can rush, you could do that. Offensive line is not good. And whenever Shedeur was in Nebraska, here's the thing too. Like they were talking about our fan base. Iowa State doesn't have that type of fan base to get that loud to affect it that much.
So,
but I feel like they're the weakest out of the 4.
The one thing I will say,
now if you're just looking for 3, if you're looking at Iowa State, BYU, Arizona State, yes, I would agree that Arizona State. I would look at it BYU, Iowa State, Arizona State. Honestly, very thin margin between those 2, and then Colorado at the bottom. That's how I would look at it.
And like,
even though BYU just lost to Arizona State,
and I think
close
that's
game,
why BYU needs Arizona State or ISU to lose.
Yeah, well, 100%. Yeah.
And I think that's the reason behind it.
Well, if you're BYU, you probably looking at it like, if we get Arizona State again, we could beat them.
Yeah.
And they should beat them.
Yeah. And so, like...
Now, if you're BYU and you're seeing Iowa State, you're like, damn, I kind of hope they lose.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at Kansas State, you know that I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting into the Big 12 champ.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see because with how you talked about the rivalry in the past, you're kind of looking at it like we could fuck up their season right here. I honestly expect Iowa State to lose.
You do?
I honestly expect them to lose this game. If I was putting money on it, let's skip these other games real quick. Can you click on it? I want to see all the
Iowa
stuff.
State is the favorite?
Well, slight favorite. Dude, this is a pick'em. This is a fucking pick'ems game. KSU is a 120 money line favorite.
Yeah.
And the spread is they think this is going to be a separated game by a field goal.
Yeah.
So, and they think that Iowa State's going to win by a field goal.
But they said that last year too.
This is a very. I would be fucking shaking in my. If you want them to get to a Big 12, I would be so fucking scared right now.
I am nervous.
Yeah.
And like, it's definitely going to be a game that on Saturday, I'm going to be watching that game. 100% because it's on
Yeah.
Fox. I'll definitely be able to watch it on my Hulu without your
Yeah.
YouTube TV.
Well, the Huskers play Friday, so I don't even give a fuck.
But
which reminds me, Friday night, if you're not busy, we are going to do a Husker watch party here.
I think I'm helping set up Christmas decorations, but then after that, I should be.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
The game's at 6:30. So
okay, yeah. What is it? But yeah, like I definitely see Arizona State winning, but I could also see the interstate rivalry game come into effect.
The thing is, I mean, if Arizona was a slightly more competitive this year,
yeah,
they're 2-6 in the conference. They're
but I think
4-7 overall.
They could have the same mentality
Like,
of
who are the people that
K-State.
they beat in their conference besides probably Oklahoma State and
They beat Utah
Houston? Oh,
23
okay.
to 10.
So Houston and Oklahoma, huh?
Yeah, and Houston and Utah.
Yeah, sorry, Utah. Sorry.
Um,
Which I mean, right at the time of when they beat them, when they were ranked 10,
yeah,
was probably like, shit, we
yeah,
did it. And then after that,
yeah. Then see
L
BYU 2 weeks
L
later.
L.
Yeah, but they're close with Texas Tech.
Yeah, but it was Texas Tech. I mean, Colorado fucking ran them through the
Yeah.
fucking washer and dryer.
UCF 56 to 12. Damn.
TCU, like,
Yeah. So like they've had
they have an up and down season, but
Yeah.
I definitely see Arizona State win this game.
I do too, but I also like
You
yeah.
want versus probably what you think.
Well, it's more or less of like I wouldn't be surprised with the interstate rivalry factor, especially at Arizona's home stadium,
Sure.
and them wanting to see Arizona State lose. Because like it's the end of the season, I want to fuck up their season.
The thing is though, like Arizona for football, like, do you really see it as like
No.
that? I mean, even the Cardinals, like,
Yeah.
their fan base is not as fucking like diehard as
No, but
like the Steelers, for example, in the
Yeah.
NFL.
You got Arkansas against Missouri.
Dude, Mizzou, I don't even know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
They're kind of all over the place.
Especially in like the SEC.
Yeah.
Indiana,
Purdue against
Indiana's
gonna beat Purdue.
Yeah.
Washington against Oregon.
Oregon's gonna fucking
Texas against Texas A&M. Gonna be a good rivalry game to watch. 100% a great game to watch. There in College Station, Texas. I think it's gonna be a good one. K-State, Iowa State, like I was saying, it's Farmageddon. Last year, I think we fucking put belt at. I know we put belt ass against K-State. Because I had tickets to that game and I was upset that I was like stuck because of the snowstorm to go back and watch that game. Right around things, and like that one was called the snow. It was like the first snow classic that Iowa State had in like a while, and Abu Sama put up like
that's your running back, right?
Yeah, he's our starter, and I think that's the only reason why he's the starter. But like, because there's definitely better running backs than Sama. But he put up like 170 yards of rushing with like 3 touchdowns that game. I might be speaking of my ass, but it was a pretty astronomical number.
Yeah.
I might be over exaggerating, but 2 touchdowns if I'm being a little bit more realistic. But yeah, he put up massive yards. He had a lot of big plays where they're like 60, 50-yard rush touchdowns. And so did Jalen Knoll. He had some big old plays too. And yeah, so like K-State might be coming back for revenge. They might be coming to say "fuck your season."
I think they're coming back to say "fuck your season." That's 100% what they're doing.
I think there's a lot of blood between this game because it's in the farming world, it's wheat versus corn. Because Kansas is known for their wheat, Iowa's more known for their corn. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a good game to watch. I'm definitely going to be watching it.
I'll also probably be watching it. Probably on like a split screen.
Yeah.
I get off at 5 that day, so.
Nevada against UNLV. Another interstate rivalry game. And then you got Houston versus BYU, which I could go for a BYU loss, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think so.
And you guys have Iowa.
We have Iowa.
Which
Freedom Bowl.
Iowa has a walk-on.
Let's throw that on if you don't mind.
So Iowa has a walk-on as their starting quarterback because their main quarterback is in a fucking cast right now.
Yeah, and can you believe they have Nebraska as the underdogs? Look at that money line. It moved up. It's now. Oh, no, actually, it moved down. It was 170. Now it's 165.
I would put money on this game.
I would too, man.
In favor of Nebraska,
dude. Now here's the thing. I get it. We are 4. Sorry, we were 1 out of our last 4. Sorry, 1 and 4 in our last 5. Fuck. The thing is, like you said, I think our seniors are gonna get back there, and just fucking like just get after him because we're like. Here's the thing, like, all right, we're going to a bowl. That's fantastic, but we still it's Iowa hate week right now, and that's why Iowa State just got a stray there a little bit ago from me. It's still like everybody can fucking get it. It's a 3.5 fucking spread.
I would agree. So fuck Iowa.
Fuck Iowa.
Fuck,
dude. Fucking, do you remember when we were fucking leaving Iowa State?
Yeah.
There was those fucking cowards that were Iowa fans chirping at us and fucking, we were like, get out of the truck. Get the fuck out of the truck. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see how good Iowa is right now, dog.
We probably ought to get on our asses kicked right there. There's more than them.
Iowa? They were in a truck.
We were inebriated.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
I mean, I could have taken some punches, but I'm not throwing accurate.
Dude, no.
I just know me.
Aim for the center one. Aim for the center one. Like,
as long as I catch them in those first 3 punches, they're going down. But after I miss, after those first 3, that's when I lose my accuracy. That's just me knowing my drunk self fighting.
Yeah.
My first 3 punches, oh my god, dangerous. But after that, dude, I'm fucked.
Also, if we're looking, so if I'm talking betting, I would go Nebraska plus 3.5. I would go under 39.5 potentially, and I would go Nebraska money line.
Well, that might give me and good old Chesler Customs some conversation to talk about.
Yeah. Well, so I worked 9 to 5, or excuse me, I worked 7 to 5 that day for Black Friday. Rest in peace, me. So I'll be able to watch this game. We're gonna do a little shindig.
Yeah.
After work. It's in Iowa, which sucks. Battle for the border, but fuck it, man. We got it. We're gonna fucking get them.
I'm calling Nebraska win on this one.
Me too. Yeah.
Oh,
the way that
their quarterback has 12 passes and all of them underneath 20 yards after last game that he played. Yeah. So that shows that they only ran the ball in their last game. I'm just like, I put pretty good favor in Nebraska's defense being able to stop the run. Now, granted, it is old big old Iowa farm boys, and they have that stereotype for a fucking reason.
Yeah,
but
we're right next door. So we're the same.
Yeah. So going into our picks, so
Matt did, he won our two spreads. We had the it's up there. So the Ravens, Chargers, and then Pats, Dolphins.
Yep.
You won both those. Your record's now 118 to 59.
Yeah. Did I pick the Pats?
I picked the Pats.
Oh, you picked the Pats? Okay.
I picked the Pats, which I don't remember doing, but I think I wouldn't surprise. It wouldn't.
I thought you said you liked Drake May.
Yeah. I don't remember saying put me down for the Pats.
Well, and also I took your recommendation to put in Ramondre Stevenson. Absolutely terrible. Tony Pollard popped off.
I know. I saw that. I saw that. Which when we were playing each other, I was like,
well,
man.
I'm like, you had already said it, and I was already thinking it too, though.
Here's the thing: I didn't expect Tony Pollard to go in, and they won. Who did they beat? The Titans beat the Texans.
Yeah, I think they beat the Texans.
Yeah. I didn't expect that,
No.
but we were also talking about dude, the Texans, they're one of those teams that they should win. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into the week.
Here, we'll just do this because it's a little bit easier. So
Thursday night
football.
We're still on our drought.
Still on our drought.
Yeah.
Steelers lost. Classic game. Classic. We talked about it on the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Classic game. You can't be mad at the performance of either team.
Playing in the snow. It's always like when you're watching the game, you're like kind of slow because like they can't do a ton of deep ball and like you can't run super far. Like you're not gonna get a ton of yards at the catch in the snow.
Yeah.
But it was still a fun game to watch.
Still a fun game to watch. We both were wrong. We both picked Vikings. They won over the Bears
With
in
overtime.
overtime.
Yeah, which I didn't really see that happening.
I didn't see that happening either. Caleb Williams fucking 32 for 47, 340 yards and 2 TDs. That's pretty good. Pretty good throwing really on his part. Yeah. Then you had the Lions whooping ass on the Colts, 24-6. I picked the Dolphins.
Hey man, why? Like, so here's the thing. I know they spread the love with running backs, so like a lot of the run, like Montgomery and Gibbs gets in the score. But why aren't we talking about more players from Detroit, either in the offensive player of the year conversation, or Jared Goff in the fucking MVP? Because dude, Jared Goff a couple games ago was perfect. He went like, what was it, 19 for 19?
Yeah.
And like it, what was it? 14 for 14. Thank you.
Well, so like, if you look at Lamar Jackson.
Hey Brooklyn. Can I get another beer, please?
No, we're playing a game.
Can you pause it?
No.
Can you pause it? There's a pause.
Can't pause.
No, you can't pause the podcast. Thank you.
If you look at Lamar Jackson, he is 30 touchdowns for 3 interceptions, and the 3 interceptions weren't even just him throwing straight dots to the defense.
Sure, but like are they 10-1?
What's that?
Are they 10-1?
No, but like,
which I don't want to put a ton of stock in that.
An award for the best team, I would.
Well, they call that the champ. They call that the Super Bowl
but
champion.
I'm saying, like,
yeah,
if this is a regular season, who had the best all-around team performance?
Dude, if I was a player and I won that and I didn't win the Super Bowl, don't even show me that trophy.
But like, I think right now the Lions are the best.
You wouldn't even put Jared Goff in that conversation of MVP with how he's been doing.
I think he has too many interceptions this season.
Pull that up. I don't think he. How many interceptions has he thrown?
9 interceptions for 20 TDs.
That's still pretty good.
One of those games, I think he had 5 interceptions.
Yeah, but they still won that game.
They did, but like,
I mean, a lot of they're just having thrown deep ball, and I mean, it was just getting an interception. They still won that game. Thank you. Hey, I'm thankful for you this holiday season.
You're what?
I'm thankful for you this holiday season. Hey, thank you.
But I just don't think. Yes, Jared.
You wouldn't even put him in the conversation.
I'd put him up there,
like leading a team 10-1, and they're dominating.
Yes.
Like last week, it was 56 to what?
Something like 3 or 7 or something.
Yeah.
I would put him in the conversation. I wouldn't pick him though. He'd be there. I just think the numbers and just like the overall performance as a team though. Or as the player. I think Lamar, Josh Allen have played a lot better. Saquon and Derrick Henry have all done more for their teams than just Jared Goff.
But you wouldn't even put him in the offensive. Any Lion
offensive,
yeah. I want to say comeback player of the year because I feel like he did pretty well last year.
Yeah, I think he lost out on comeback player of the year because of last year's performance.
Yeah. But like whenever when he moved from the Rams, everyone was like, all right, his career is gonna die in Detroit.
Yeah.
And he took him to a playoff game. He won a playoff game.
Yeah. They went to the NFC Championship.
They could have won that game. I don't say should have. Like they're going to take him to the playoff game. I want them to take him to the Super Bowl.
100%.
When are we going to look at Jared Goff and go like, dude, like he might not be
I think if he takes him to a Super Bowl, he could win Super Bowl MVP.
Just Super Bowl MVP?
I don't think regular season MVP. I think Super Bowl MVP.
You wouldn't even put him in the conversation.
He'd be in the conversation. I never said I wouldn't have him in the conversation. I just think.
I think people are just like they need to give a little more respect.
He's getting not the respect that he should.
Yeah.
But also, if you look at the competition he has up against him.
Well, here's the thing.
Like 4 players, I just switched Saquon when we get to the Eagles. That's a fucking.
Oh, dude.
He's been.
Dude, he beat the fuck out of the Rams in
Yeah.
the second half. In the second half, in the first half, we did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
That second half, dude, he had what, two
50+ yard touchdowns. Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Which I in the first, I was spot on in the first half. We're going to contain Saquon. We're going to get into the backfield, and then the second half, Sirianni made his adjustments, and
Yeah.
Sean McVay was like, "We're fine,"
Yeah.
and just did nothing.
Nothing. But yeah, like I think the Rams have the best chance at the Super Bowl, or not the Lions.
Yeah,
have the best chance of a Super Bowl in the NFC.
Yeah.
They're my favorite.
No, 100%. Yeah,
100%.
if anyone doesn't have them in there, I would ask him like,
With how
who the fuck?
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
Who do you think is better?
You know, arguably maybe another NFC North team, like
Yeah.
maybe the Packers are
Or the
getting
Vikings,
in,
yeah.
or maybe the Vikings are getting in. I honestly like
Well,
the
they have
Packers over
3 teams right now from the NFC North
them.
in the
get all
playoff.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all in the picture.
Which I'm sitting there like, that's wild to see. Is that you have 3 teams in the
Dude, imagine us when we first started this, like a year. Was it a year ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, we were like, "Hey, this is what's gonna happen in 2 years." We sitting on like, man, shut the fuck up.
Like 3 NFC North teams, the Packers,
Yeah.
after losing Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah,
fucking,
you're like fucking,
and the Vikings, and you're like,
you would be sitting there like I think we both sit there like, okay, maybe Jordan Love got some talent around him,
Mhm.
and then maybe Kirk Cousins. They finally, and you're like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Sam Darnold.
They got rid of Sam Darnold. You're like, fucking
Who?
fucking what? Like
Sam
the
Darnold?
guy who said he saw ghosts
Yeah.
when he was playing for the Jets.
Yeah. It's just like, what?
Speaking of New York, across the way in New York, the Patriots. Actually, no,
we had already talked about Dolphins and Pats.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
Baker
you went back to the
Mayfield.
Lions.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield fucking whooped
up on the New York, and Tommy DeVito,
he did the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I've been loving the memes about Tommy DeVito. Like last year, he started off hot, then he dropped off. And I fell underneath the bandwagon of like the hype train of it.
I did.
This year, I'm not believing it. I do love the memes. I do think Tommy DeVito is a great character, but I don't think he's the quarterback to put in there. Fucking Drew Lock, much better choice.
Yeah, just sitting there, just like.
Drew Lock is a much better quarterback than Tommy DeVito.
Well, it's the same situation with fucking okay. Let's talk about that game. Cowboys beat the Commanders.
Yes.
We both had that wrong. We both have the Commanders. Dude.
Did you see that touchdown return? That fucking spin move?
So there's that. Then there was the fucking Hail Mary attempt.
Fucking
missed he missed 2.
Yeah,
fucking
he missed
2.
The point after attempt to tie the game.
Well, and then he missed another one before that too, dude. And fucking.
And now he's on IR, which Matt, you need to replace him on.
I know. Yeah. The thing is, I was sitting there just like I wanted to lick my wounds with that one a little bit, because it was kind of your idea for me to put him as my starting kicker.
Well, he did me well.
Yeah, I know.
He's
and you're
done
like,
very
he's the,
well
the highest
season.
kicking, and then I put him in versus you. Not that would have won me the game.
No.
That wouldn't have. But I had Will Lutz, and Will Lutz went crazy. He went like 14 or 15 points.
Yeah.
Which I was sitting there just looking at it like. When you're looking at it like Sunday night going into Monday, like, all right, Matt needs to do X amount of like A, B, and C. If I have at least that one, I would have felt better. We'll get into it later.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, in between this week and next week, I want to go over our fantasy.
Yeah. But so, I mean, in the fourth quarter was the wildest fucking, because I was working when that happened, and I was like, I was on my lunch, and I was like, let's just turn on whatever game's on. And it was, I saw literally, like, I saw the whole thing where the Cowboys scored, and then the Commanders got the ball back, and they're like, all right, they're hoping for a miracle. And they throw it down. Scary Terry takes it to the house. And
like,
you're just sitting there like,
a 1,000,000-yard touchdown pass.
oh my fucking God. They have the chance. They just need this. They just need to tie it up with the field
And
goal
then
here.
wide left.
And dude, as a fantasy owner with him, I was fucking furious.
Yeah.
And then they fucking did the onside kick, and it got taken back for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Also fucking furious.
Yeah.
Which that doesn't affect me, but it was just more like, wow, the fucking Cowboys fucking won.
And I'm every week's Cowboys hate week for me.
Yeah.
So I hate seeing the Cowboys win.
Yeah.
Every time I watch a Cowboys game, it is a hate watch.
But I will tell you, not that I'm getting off Jaden Daniels' dick a little bit. I'm starting to lean more for Bo Nix for offensive.
Yes, I was going to talk about that when we get to Denver. Because I've been talking about Jaden Daniels, and he's done very well for that team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to continue to do well. That's my personal opinion.
Well, the Broncos had a rough start.
Yes, but we'll get into the Broncos for this next game. Chiefs Panthers.
Yeah, dude.
I would have never seen
the
if
Panthers.
You told me early this season that Bryce Young was going to
keep the Chiefs within 3 points.
Yeah,
and it was in like a light quarter. And dude, here's the thing. Because I'm pretty sure they got the ball back with like a minute and a half left, and I think they had either like one or like all three of their timeouts. They had like I was just sitting there like, yeah, they lost. Like,
yeah,
you gave them way too much time.
Yeah,
you gave him way too much fucking time.
If the Chiefs
now, if you're a Panthers fan, are you mad? I'm not. You're just sitting there like, dude, fucking took,
But like, I think the Chiefs almost losing to the Panthers really showed how weak that team is.
But I think everyone knows that. I think anyone that's not a Chiefs fan or not a fucking analyst sit there that doesn't dick ride fucking Patrick Mahomes and goes like, this team, like, yes, they're 10-1. They really shouldn't be.
No, they shouldn't be.
Like, they should have lost to the Colts if they didn't have that block kick. They're
They
playing
should
a
have
whole
lost
bunch
to the
of
Broncos if they didn't have a block kick.
They should have lost to the fucking goddamn. It was early in the season. It wasn't the Falcons that they had like that. Cincinnati.
Yeah, they should have lost to Cincinnati.
Well, anybody should lose to Cincinnati with the amount of fucking points and performances that Joe Burrow does.
Yeah.
Anyway, fucking if you're a Panthers fan, man,
I can't wait for Christmas Day when it's the fucking Voodoo Magic Bowl between the Steelers and the Chiefs.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Yes, I am definitely going to be watching that game.
Texans beating the Titans beating the Texans. Excuse me. I don't think. But we talked about it where it's like the Texans keep. Here's the thing: if Stephon Diggs is there, but dude, fucking Tony Pollard went off.
Yes.
Even Will Lutz did himself a really good
Will
game.
Levis fucking played very well. What was it? 18 for 24, 278 yards of passing and 2 touchdowns.
So because we talked about in the memes, you're talking about picking up the Texans defense
off of that one fucking
off of the one. Please tell me you haven't like.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah,
but like I was sitting there like, all right, so in the memes, you guys should see this shit. This dude fucking Euro stepped and spin moved out of a double team on the block to put pressure, untouched.
Yeah.
So he could put pressure on the fucking Titans quarterback. I'm like, that is devilish. And they even said like this is a devil move. That was the caption of it. And I'm just like, that is wild to see. I have never seen someone incorporate a basketball move into beating a pass block. And I think that is something it should be done more often because there's a lot of fancy moves that they do in basketball. There's one NFL player that like he was caught on camera, or no, it was college, but like he played years of basketball, and like you could see him doing like the crossover move, like he put his hand between his legs and this arm coming up to grab the ball to like juke out the defender, the DB, and then scream upfield and get a deep ball pass. But like he's just like, yeah, I've always been good at basketball, so I just incorporate the same moves into it. And I'm just like, I mean, it's pretty nifty moves, and they do it all the time against a pretty. I mean, obviously, it's not a 300-pound offensive lineman.
Yeah,
but like, if you have good footwork, you can beat just about any strength as long as you don't get like bullied. So like, if you have equal strength and good footwork, you can beat it.
As long as you don't get, because I mean, they're going to start coaching for it and go. I feel like when you're in that position, as soon as you kind of get a push, you're gonna.
And like, it's one of those things that you can only pull it out every now and then.
You can't do it every
No, you
every
can't do it
snap.
every play
No.
because then they're just gonna get used to it. But like,
Yeah.
if you sit there, you go through the grind, and then all of a sudden you've been watching your film and you know what play is going to be ran. That's when you pull it out. You pull out the fancy footwork. You break through that line, and you get the sack or the tackle for loss or something like that.
Or putting just pressure on it
Yeah.
to either force it,
Yeah.
quick throw or throw
I
it
think it's going to be
away.
something we see more incorporated with the NFL coming into the future. Just as like defensive ends get more and more smaller, and with better footwork, but they're just as strong as like the big deep defensive ends.
Well, that was the big thing with Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, for whenever he was coming up, is like,
Yeah.
oh, he's going in undersized,
Yeah.
but I mean, fucking one of the best defensive players of our generation.
Yeah, and like if you look back at like the Steel Curtain, all those dudes were like 6'8", 260, fucking
big boys.
Yeah, big boys.
Yeah,
But they weren't like fat big boys. They were
They're
fucking
tall and
fucking huge.
Yeah.
And they're just coming in bully teams. And that's what everybody's always kind of thought of as defensive linemen. And now we're starting to see undersized, fast, nimble, with strength. They're not over strength, but they still have strength to them. And I think that's what we're going to see more coming in the future. Not next year, but like 5-6 years down the line. I think that's what we're going to start seeing more of, in my personal opinion. Obviously, I'm just a nobody with like 8 viewers that watch this podcast. But now Bo Nix. Bo Nix he's definitely made a much better case for Rookie of the Year
as of late.
Yes.
But both of those teams are 7-5.
Yep.
But it's gonna be interesting to see those two go down the stretch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would be interested to see the Broncos in the playoffs because I've confession here. At first midseason I was writing off the Broncos for playoffs from then on, and I've picked against them.
Well, I think when we looked at our very early predictions early in the season, we both were like, yeah, no.
Yeah, the Broncos aren't going to do well.
Yeah.
And then they've showed up and showed out, and I'm just like, all right, like they're a team to compete with. So it's going to be good to watch. I mean,
something going off of our earlier predictions, I think the 49ers are going to crash out. I don't think they're going to recover.
Well, I think Brock Purdy's hurt.
Brock Purdy's hurt. I mean, Christian McCaffrey he's hurt, but he's showing up. George Kittle, I believe, is hurt.
Well, George Kittle's been in and out of being hurt.
Yeah.
So like
Deebo Samuel's he's kind of back. Trent Williams was out.
Yep.
Brandon Ayuk is out for the season.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah. There's been some memes that I saw that like Brock Purdy watching the fucking 49ers fall, disproving the system quarterback shit. And I'm just like, it's right, but also they're also dealing with injuries. Now, if it's Brandon Allen with all of his weapons,
yes,
and he's still failing like this, I would definitely.
That's the thing. Yeah. I would not. I would look at that meme and go like, this is such a like. I didn't read any further than the title. All I saw was Brock Purdy was out and nothing else. And I was like, dude, that's
exactly
dumb.
Yeah, and that's why like when I looked at him, just like Brandon Allen doesn't have all his weapons, and also Christian McCaffrey is getting hit with the Madden curse.
Are you surprised that the 49ers didn't try to go get Daniel Jones as a backup for Brock Purdy?
No, I'm not surprised.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think Daniel I don't think Daniel Jones is that good. He definitely could use some more years of development because he never really had that. Now, I definitely think he has shown that he could use a couple years as a backup and then come as a starter again.
Right.
Get some good development underneath kind of like a Justin Fields.
I think he's one of those guys that as soon as you get him away from maybe like a shit ass team, he might be he's like a pretty solid backup quarterback.
That's exactly what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
And like you develop him for a couple more years because he's still young. This is what
he's kind of like a Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's a good example.
Has a good couple years and then
then comes back. Yeah. And like, he's gonna play well. Maybe not exactly like Ryan Tannehill, where like he was still kind of like a meme.
Yeah.
But like,
we had the Seahawks losing to the Cardinals. Boy, we were wrong.
Yeah. 16-6.
Yeah.
And
Keeping that NFC West tight though.
Yeah.
Fucking super tight.
And I love seeing that type of shit.
Really?
Yeah, I love seeing
where they're all very mid. Like,
I
because you
love
got the
seeing
49ers 5-6, the Rams 5-6, and then the Cardinals and the Seahawks are both
Yeah.
6-5.
And it's just I love seeing these teams that are good, they show that they're good, but they either just lose or they have an off game, and this whole conference is very tight. I love seeing that shit just for the chaos of it.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna start seeing it's like the running meme that we did last week. I think that you're gonna see the 49ers start just going back and back and back and back.
Now I picked the Rams over the Eagles.
I think I led you wrong.
Well, and I was sitting there they have a chance.
They had a chance.
They definitely, and they showed it in the first quarter.
And it was close in the first quarter. I mean, they're
what,
only
13-7.
Yeah, I mean, you're only down by less than a touchdown.
Less than a touchdown.
Not
I'm
bad.
Not bad.
Come out, they get the ball back, they score.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I think we
I
respond.
was watching up until the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Luckily, my lady also wanted to do a call, so
Yeah.
I became busy, and I just kept getting the doo-doo-doo, and I was like, I'm not gonna look because I know it's just Saquon. Yeah,
Saquon something. Saquon this. Jalen Hurts tush push.
yeah. I was like, all right, we're good. We're
And
done.
then I didn't even watch this game because I already knew it was going to be a lock.
It was close, you know.
Yeah.
It was real. I mean, going into half, it looked really good, and even going into the third quarter, and then fucking the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking the Chargers hardball. I think it's John still has no win over the Ray, and I thought
his brother.
I thought he would have beat Jim at least once, and I thought this would be the best opportunity for him to do it.
I think next year, better opportunity
Maybe.
with good draft picks.
Yeah,
I think he has a chance.
yeah.
And then we had Falcons, Bills, Bengals, Saints, Jets, and Jags. And the Bengals, Joe Burrow, 700 yards of passing, 8 TDs, still lost.
Yeah, in the bye week.
Yeah, in the bye week.
We saw that in the memes.
Jamar Chase, fucking. Oh, the lady sent me a text message.
You gotta hide your face.
Well, I don't know what it is.
The lady also Snapchat me. Did yours say something?
Yeah.
Mine also. So she said, "No shade, but what happened to Matt's beard?" What did you? Oh, you're sending a full photo now of your face, or no? You really did not just give yourself mutton chops. Is she getting it from here?
Yeah, probably. She's watching the live stream. All right, so going into fantasy.
I don't even want to.
Well, we've stayed consistent with talking about our fantasy matchups.
You've been fucking consistent.
It's a we. All right, so all the matchups.
He says it's a we thing.
It was the MattCast Bowl, week 2 or second chance. I ended up winning 92-68. G-Man's team beat Patrick and Mahomes 121-109. Two Girls One Cup beat Auto Draft Dream Team 94-83. Did he draft him? Beat Epstein's Flight Log 123-72. Amon Ra Doggin beat Tom McKissick Brady 71-61.
I just want to win one fucking game versus you.
Coming for You beat OJ Was Framed.
I bought those fucking chairs. I'll break them if I want.
You fucked up the floor?
No.
It's linoleum.
It's not linoleum.
That?
Carpet.
You were hitting on the carpet?
Yes.
I thought you were hitting on the linoleum.
Thank you, Dad.
Making sure. Hey, you already fucked up a door.
I didn't fuck up a door.
Please tell me y'all got that on the street.
Yes.
Please clip that.
Yes. Coming for You beat OJ Was Framed.
Get a chair broken on your head.
The woman wants me to tell you.
You want to take that out with you?
No, not really.
I come back.
Yeah.
And also, I'm gonna have to edit because you said her name, right?
Whose?
The woman's.
I did?
Yeah.
When
You said hi.
Oh.
Yeah. Coming for You beat OJ Was Framed 125 to 108.
I had a chair on stand by for that
Yeah.
bit. Hey, would you stop it? Get out of here. You
So the current
cannibal.
standings now, I'm at number 1. That
Uh-huh.
hasn't changed.
Okay.
Did he draft him is now number 2.
Yep, saw that.
OJ Was Framed is number 3. Coming for You is number 4. Auto Draft Team number 5. G-Man Team number 6. Two Girls One Cup number 7.
Dude.
I'll get to that one. Amon Ra Doggin is at number 8. Colin McKissick Brady, number 9. Patrick and Mahomes, number 10. Number 11, Run the Jewels. And then Epstein's Flight Log coming in the rear at 12. Which, this week in the matchups, I'm up against Epstein's Flight Log, which is going to help you out.
Not really. Yeah.
It's going to keep you from last place.
It's gonna keep me from last place, yeah.
OJ Was Framed is up against G-Man's team. Auto Draft Team against Amon Ra Doggin. Patrick and Mahomes against Did He Draft Him? And Two Girls One Cup against Run the Jewels. And Coming for You against Tom Over Kids Brady.
Now,
Which
what did we talk about last week?
Last week about how Two Girls One Cup has not replaced Stephon Diggs on his team for like 3-4 weeks in a row. And then the 1 week he's going up against you, and you called it on our group chat too. I'm like,
pull up my exact quote. I want that to be on my tombstone. Hey, stop it.
So your exact quote was, and Matt put in all the pictures from every week too, except for, and including this week, of like all the weeks that Stephon Diggs has not been taken out of his roster. He has done no change to his roster at all for all the people on bye weeks and shit like that.
Brees Hall was in there for his bye. Yeah.
After 3 weeks of not changing out Diggs, Two Girls One Cup finally decided to switch him out. The week we play together, the level of disrespect, I won't forget this. And then he sent like a bunch of heart emojis. And he was like, I honestly forgot I still had him. It's fine. I didn't want an easy win this week. He meant to say 6 leagues. I'm in 6 leagues this year, so I keep forgetting about them.
6 leads, dude. That is insane if that's true. Which
If
I honestly don't put it past him, but that is insane.
Oh, yeah. And then also found out he still works for you.
That's different. That's different. Yeah,
but that's still funny.
That is funny.
That he hasn't worked with your guys' company for years.
Yeah,
but
when I got that email today, I was like, like, I'm not gonna get into it.
Yeah.
I can get off to it off stream.
I
got the Lions versus the Bears.
So, with talking about fantasy, like, I'm more scared for next week because
just go hit the arrow. Yeah,
okay,
that one right there.
Okay. So for our picks total, I'm at 116. Matty heavy or 116 for 59. Matt broke 100. 101 for 77. Fucking. Oh yeah, shit. I'm bouncing all over the place. But for fantasy, like I'm more scared for next week.
Let's talk about that next week then.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
already going kind of long.
Yeah. Bears against Lions.
Lions. Duh.
Yeah.
Lions. Aaron, are you mad?
No.
Okay. Because I broke a chair. I want to make sure you aren't mad. Okay.
I'm gonna go Giants over Cowboys.
I'm gonna go Cowboys over Giants. Not like this game holds a ton of weight.
No.
But I just feel like the Cowboys have just a better chance.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to dig out, even though this will be their first, potentially their first win at home.
Yeah.
The whole season.
On Thanksgiving Day.
Woo!
And you have Dolphins versus Packers. I'm gonna go Packers. Go Pack, go.
I'll go for the Dolphins.
And
to round out our Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. Raiders, Chiefs. I'm gonna go Chiefs.
I'm gonna go Chiefs too. Black Friday game. Crazy that they're doing a Black Friday game.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I said, "Wow, Black Friday."
I said, "Well, what a Black Friday game." I suggested it. They didn't listen to me last year. This year, they
I've
listened
always
to me.
been for a Black Friday game.
I've always wanted it. We got the Chargers, Falcons. I want to go Chargers, but also Kirk will be dripping, and they're coming off a bye, and I kind of want to lean Falcons.
You can do that. I'm not gonna follow you. I'm gonna go Chargers.
You're gonna go Chargers,
Yeah. Also,
and then we have Steelers, Bengals.
Falcons is FAL, FLA.
You know what? I don't care at this point.
Okay. It's
I'm gonna
called
go Steelers over
flopping.
Bengals.
I'm also gonna go Steelers, but I know NFC North or AFC North Ball.
Oh yeah, AFC North Bowl. It is gonna be competitive.
I feel like, especially like poor Joe Burrow. Here's the thing, though: Joe Burrow is losing because of his offensive line and his
Yes.
defense. So I think that game that we expected last Thursday with I think you're gonna get this week, where
Yeah.
fucking TJ Watt's gonna get in there a
Like,
ton.
8 million sacks.
Maybe not that much,
Yeah.
but
I'm doing the depressed Cowboys
Yeah.
shit or Cowboys fan. Like,
yeah,
he just threw the ball 1 billion jillion yards.
yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna go
Vikings over
or Cards.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, Cards dropping back to back. Yeesh, I don't know this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that pick. I'm gonna go.
Colts over Pats.
I'm gonna double down with those Pats.
You're gonna stay with them.
Yeah, I'm already losing the season. I might as well just be fucking risky.
Seahawks, Jets.
Seahawks.
Yep.
Like, I know in our beginning of the year predictions, we both put Jets. I'm taking them firmly out of the conversation.
And then we have Titans, Commanders.
Man,
I'm gonna go Commanders.
I want to go Commanders too.
But also after last week, I'm just like,
yeah.
And you have Texans, Jags again. Fucking after last week, I'm like, I don't know.
And so like the Texans lost. Like it was division game. This is another division game. Here's the thing: Trevor Lawrence is just not there. I think Joe Mixon's gonna get in the mix. I think he's gonna score again.
I want to lean Texans.
I'm gonna go Texans. If I'm red, I'm in the red. That's fine. I'm not that bold to go. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Rams over Saints.
Same. That's an easy one for me. This is gonna be a good bounce back game for us.
Then we have Bucks versus Panthers, which the Panthers showed up last week.
But I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go Bucks.
I'm gonna go Bucks too, because isn't there rumors of Mike Evans coming back this week? Or
Mike Evans was back last week.
Yeah, but like
against Tommy DeVito.
Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, sorry. But like, you know, when you come back after an injury, like he's gonna be back.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I wish Chris Godwin was back, but no.
Mm-hmm.
I could really use that for my fucking fantasy.
Yeah,
well, I'd have to re-pick him back up, but
yeah,
like,
I say you need that 10-1. You really need that right
11-1. Check yourself.
Oh,
all right, there, bud.
Excuse me. Fucking pardon me.
Eagles, Ravens. I'm gonna go Ravens. It is the battle of the running backs.
You know, I'm gonna go Eagles. After the beating that Saquon did to the Rams, I feel like I just owe him.
I just think the Eagles' defense is much better than some of the other teams they played, and I think they're.
So let me.
The Ravens' defense is much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think with how good the Eagles' defense did last week comparatively, here's the thing: all they have to do is stop the run, stop Isaiah Likely, like stop the tight end room, Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews, and then Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
But Zay Flowers did pretty well last week too.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a Ravens win. I do think it's gonna be a close
decent
game.
amount of splits this week too. Bills. Broncos, by the way.
And then Broncos over.
Even though I do like Jameson, I like him at the helm. I think a lot more people have respect for the Browns now that
Yeah.
Deshaun is out.
Yes.
No one on bye, huh?
Yep. No one on bye this week. And then next week we have buys, which I really wish this was the week Lamar and Derrick Henry on a bye. But no, I have to go against the number 2 team who's been showing up now.
Yeah, but I mean, if you lose, are you guys going to be tied?
No, I'll still have the huge deficit. I'll be 12-2.
And he'll be.
Like,
I thought he only had 4 losses or something like that.
yeah, he has
He's-
4
So
losses.
he's 8-4 then.
Yeah, he's 8-4. So
So
he'd be,
you have you have. This is the time that if you lost next week when you lose, you're
Yeah.
like, all right, I lost. That's fine.
and then I like going into the playoffs. I need him to lose round 1 if he beats me this week because
next week.
well, yeah, and also like I'm gonna have a rough time. Week
We'll
one
talk
of the-
about it next week. We'll talk about it next week. I know.
Well, I'm looking ahead at the fantasy.
We'll talk about it next
Okay,
week.
okay.
Yeah, I know you want to talk
Yeah.
about it. We'll talk
All
about it
right,
next
all
week. When we have the good layout of what
Yeah.
happens this current week. And yeah.
All right, so thank you guys for joining the MattCast podcast.
Mhm.
I am Matty Light, joined by my co-host Matty Heavy. And we thank you guys all for coming.
Have a good, safe, fun. Don't deep fry your turkey and be done with it.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
defrost your turkey before you deep fry it.
Also, measure out the oil
Yes,
and
don't burn down your house.
don't slam that motherfucker in there.
Yeah,
Grease fires, don't put water on it. Do baking soda or
Yep.
cover it with a blanket, cover it with the lid. Don't put water on it.
yep.
All right.
All right. Have a
Bye.
safe weekend, guys.